Hello, guys, and welcome into another episode of my podcast, Locking In for 2026, a year of finding balance. This will be episode 9. Welcome to episode 9. So, where do we leave off? Because I feel like my weeks have been very wonky. My life is sort of all over the place right now, where we are waiting to move. And we're coming down to the wire of any day now. It could be hey, okay, let's go. But we need you here, right? And that's just my life. And that's okay because we chose it, we enjoy it, we like it. But that's just the reality of where I am. And so, as I have been focusing in on myself in the capacity of helping to work on my muscles, work on the parts of my body that were feeling like stiff, like doing some corrective exercises is really what I've been doing, and walking every morning for 15 minutes to start. That's been really helping. It has been helping me to not have the hip pain any longer. Like I can walk, I feel comfortable. Like it's really saved the day. And it reminds me of the beauty of going slow, of going low. So often in life, we are focused on the big gaps, the big jumps, the end results, right? And we forget that it takes all these little steps to get there. And if you have a brain like me, we often forget that the magic is made in the small steps, right? And so that had been proven to me over the past week now. It's been where I have in the morning, like I said, done just 15 minutes of walking. But after I have done my corrective exercises, and it has, oh my God, it has saved the day. No more hip pain when I'm walking. Like it's been great. And the hip pain isn't because I'm old. It's because I have underactive glutes, because my muscles have not been able to load properly. And when you are a person who maybe sits a lot, right, your glutes are going to be underdeveloped, right? There's going to be muscles that turn off. And I know this because I spent years being a personal trainer and also a corrective exercise specialist. And my work has always been about foundational things, whether that's physical, body, mental health, whatever, in any capacity that I've worked. But because I worked at a chiropractic clinic, I rehabbed people, like I helped rehab people, like in order for them to maintain, right, the work that they were doing with their chiropractor, right? Foundational work, right? I know what's going on in my body, right? But it took me a while to start taking those small actions because my brain was so caught up in the bigness, right? I got to go to the gym, got to go walking 30 minutes, right? And instead of being like, okay, I'm in pain, how do I get myself out of pain? Well, the muscles, my core, right? Your core and your glutes tend to just disengage when you're not utilizing them. So if you're sitting a lot, not doing a whole lot, which is kind of me because my work as a coach, I'm on the computer a lot, I'm chatting with people, I'm on my phone a lot. So again, prioritizing myself, right? This is part of that locking in. And part of that locking in for me was, okay, so I've got hip pain, low back pain. Let's take care of that, right? And parallel wise, the eating, which is what really impacts, inflammation, impacts gut health, impacts blood glucose, and, impacts hormones, all the things, right? Not to say physical stuff does not, but directly with what I'm trying to do. Plus, just trying to find the balance so I can support myself the rest of my life. Because at the end of the day, that is the most important to me, is finding something that I can hold, something that I can sustain, something that I can be consistent with so I can hold those results and hold the support of going through menopause at some point. Right now, I'm in perimenopause and I want to be my best for menopause, but I have had to do the backtracking. I've had to go low and slow, like I was talking about with like the exercise, right? It's not about going to the gym and lifting weights for 30 minutes. It's about taking 5 extra minutes out of your day to prep through some corrective exercise. So you know that when you do get to the point of going to the gym, you're not going to have as much pain. And that's where I am. I'm learning these wonderful lessons, taking my own advice and building that capacity, right? And so when it comes to food, I'm doing the same thing. And what's been really great for me is I have all week been allowing whatever food that I want, but I have been making sure that my calories have been on point, right? And just eating within my calories, which seems so like duh, right? But it's a great starting place. And my body has been responding really well to it. It has been easy. Like, I haven't been craving a whole lot of anything because I am satisfied. I have what I want, right? I don't need to overeat. I'm focusing on, am I full or am I not full? I'm making choices to fill up on vegetables and protein before I eat things that I know that are going to make me want to eat more, right? Like things that are higher in sugar. Like for example, when I made some homemade Chinese food and I had some orange chicken and I had some rice, well, I paired that with some steamed carrots and a couple boiled eggs, right? Some like gooey yolky kind of eggs to go with the meal. I made sure I ate that and some of the rice and then had the chicken. But when I was eating that, I noticed that obviously the chicken, it's got some sugar in it. It tastes good and my body wanted to overeat that, right? So more awareness, understanding these foods, but focusing on fullness, right? Fullness first, good stuff, right? While also eating all those other things and enjoying them and honor my body when I am full, like still continuing on with those things that I have been practicing for such a long time, but doing it in a way where I'm not allowing myself to have things because too many, because of gluten, because of seed oils, right? Whatever. I'm starting where I can and where I can hold the capacity. And that has been working for me amazingly. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling lighter. The scale is responding, which is not always my main goal, right? Because that's just not my main goal. My main goal is to feel better, right? To not be in pain, to be able to sustain. And throughout the week, I've just been like, okay, this is great. This is working for me. So it goes to show finding what works for you is the most beautiful thing. Not listening out there if you struggle like I have, or like I have throughout my life, not stop listening to all those people who are telling you one way or the highway, right? This way or no way, right? Because if you've tried that and you can't hold it, then obviously that's not where you're at and that's not for you. And digging in sometimes isn't always the answer. Willpower or lack of motivational willpower isn't always the answer. It is being able to hold it in your nervous system, right? It's sort of like when we try to change our thoughts, change our mindset. If your nervous system can't hold the capacity for whatever it is that you're trying to change it to, it's not going to let it through, right? Your subconscious mind, it can be influenced, but if you can't hold what it is that you're trying to change or shift, right, for identity, it's not going to stick. And then you're going to be right back in the same seat again, a month later, weeks later, wondering why you can't get forward momentum. So I'm telling you, if you struggle in this area, you have to find what works for you. And maybe that is slow. And maybe your brain is trying to tell you it's so slow, it's not making any difference. Well, trust me, it will. It compounds to big and better things. And that's exactly what I'm experiencing in real time. So here I am enjoying the things that I like, right? Just within do I want to spend my calories on this or not? Or will this fill me up? And I know this is like so true. I don't say trivial, so basic, but until you can look at it from that perspective of like capacity, looking at changing your health from a place of capacity instead of like, I have to do all these things and I have to do them now, or they're not good enough, right? Like that's so much harder. But when you can accept and acknowledge that, okay, I'm going to just start where I can. And eventually, right, you will make different choices, but not starting out, because when you're making drastic choices right off the bat, it's hard to hold them. And it's okay to start there. And it's okay to do that. And that's the permission that you need to give yourself, right? So I find what I'm doing is working beautifully because it's something that, again, I can sustain and I can hold. And, it's not, it's just it's just life as usual, right? So when I get to whatever point where my body continues to respond positively, I'm feeling good, I'm having energy, the scale is moving in the right direction, right? Like body composition is changing, but also more importantly, then my labs are being affected by it, right? When I get to that point, then I will know that I have locked in, that I have arrived, right? And it might look completely different than what it is now, which is why we're on this journey together. But right now, I'm having all the things. Like I made myself a little of that viral cheesecake where I had some Biscoff in the Greek yogurt, and it was delicious. It was great. And I ate it in moderation, right? I ate it in a capacity that I wanted to spend my calories on for that day. And I feel like when you make those decisions and make those choices from a place of just steadiness, right? Of clarity, of this is what we're doing. This is the health goals that I have. This is what we're going to figure out. And I'm allowing everything. So I'm not being triggered by deprivation. Like it changes the game, right? And when you're like focused on fullness, because I know back in the day when I lived on 1,200 calories, when I was counting calories and it was shitty because I didn't have all the information, I got half of the information, right? I was starving to death, right? And I didn't want to eat the low fat foods they were promoting at that point in life. Like I remember snack wells that tasted like cardboard. It was terrible, but it was like what you were supposed to eat, right? Low fat and low calories, but it tasted like shit and it didn't fill you up. And so when you can understand, I feel like the workings of the body, understand how you respond, understanding your specific needs, like I need desserts. I like me desserts. So I found myself some protein bars this week that taste good, taste sweet, but also have protein in it so I can get my protein goals because it matters, especially at my age, right? I'm in my mid 40s and we need protein to support our bodies. It's our muscles, right? But also our skeleton, right? Structure. It's what holds us like together. It's like what makes us work better, right? And I don't want to be a brittle, frail person. And so protein's really important. So, but also good quality protein, focusing on that. But anyway, so my point is I've found ways, right? I like my sweets. I'm finding ways to eat those. That's important to me, right? We went to SeaWorld and Busch Gardens over the weekend, and I did not eat anything that I normally would have said I can't have because, right, I ate it all, but I ate it in a way that I was sharing it with somebody. Because before I would have been in lack and in scarcity, like food lack, food scarcity, because I had to have it all to myself. And because outside of that, I wouldn't let myself have it. But because I let myself have it, I'm more like, okay, well, how can I make this work? How can I fit this into my life? So for me, it's like, oh, okay, I want a cookie. I'm going to share it because it's going to be less calories. If I share it, I still get the taste of it. I still enjoy it, but I just can't eat the whole thing because I'm also full, right? So those are the awarenesses that are really helping me right now on this journey. So together, we're going to see how this goes on for me. But right now, out of pain, which was very important for my body, right? Hips and low back. And then also being able to be steady. And I've been steady for over a week now with my food without changing anything up, with just eating the way that I have been. And I'm seeing things shift and I'm happy with it. Like it's good. It feels great. And that's where I feel like I've been waiting so long to arrive at, was that food is just there. I'm not craving anything specific because I can have anything. I'm not withholding stuff for myself. My brain is not hyper focused on it, right? It's just cool, calm, steady. What do I want for food, right? Kind of an attitude, kind of a behavior. And that's, I think, the most perfect place to be, especially after dealing with many years of eating disorders, being on the diet roller coaster, and then learning how to love my body, coming at it from that perspective to neutralize food and my relationship with it, right? But also honoring that I just fucking like sweets. I don't like cauliflower. Kale's not my favorite, right? And I forced myself to eat those things for a very long time. And when I just finally said F it, right? Like I almost thought I could get rid of, like somebody could take away my holistic nutrition certification, license card, type of a thing, because I was like, I really don't like these things. I don't enjoy them. And I feel like in life, we get to enjoy what we want and we get to live how we want. And we got to find out what that is for us and being okay with discovering that because it's your life. And other people are out here telling you to do this, and this, even what I'm telling you to do. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to everybody else. Find what works for you. And that's always been my thing is empower yourself, trust yourself, trust your body and see where it takes you. And that's the whole thing, right? So anyway, that's what I want to share with you today. I hope this has served you in some capacity. And I'm excited for the weeks ahead. I'm excited to continue to see what my brain does around all of this, to see what my body does with all this, continue to see how I feel. Like I'm really excited because the first time in a very long time, perhaps in my whole entire life, I just feel like steady and neutral with food, just clarity around food. And again, that is the place for change. And that is actually what I teach in my coaching is teaching women how to get to that place of clarity so they can make decisions in their lives that will actually move the needle for them, that will actually help them to get progress. Because coming from a place of fear, coming from a place of food scarcity, if we're talking about that, you're never going to get to where you want to go because you're going to be in the fear and fear produces more fear. So you got to get to peace, got to get to neutral and make decisions from there. Because when you do, that's what you're going to get, right? More neutrality, more peace. And if you struggled with food and struggle with things in your life, you can understand that that's the best place you could possibly be. So have an awesome week and peace out. I love you so much. Bye.